Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and we're going through this week top 10 lists inside my favorite games. One of my favorite games is Caverna. Inside Caverna, there are a ton of different buildings that you can build. Well, I shouldn't say a ton. There's a certain amount of them, but when you have this option to build, you're like, what do I build? These are my 10 favorite buildings to build in my dwarven dwelling. Here we go. First, we have the cuddle room at number 10. Yes, this is the joke. Every time I show this room, everybody laughs. But the fact of the matter is it costs 1 wood. It's really inexpensive. You can pop a bunch of sheep into it, and it's worth 2 points at the end of the game. It works, right? And also, everyone laughs about it. Number 9 is the treasure chamber here. This one gives you an extra point for each ruby you have. Now, one of the things you can do in this game is you can push towards getting rubies. Each ruby is worth a point. Having rubies become 2 points, which essentially this does, is pretty good. I like this one a lot because at that point, I mean, yes, you will find yourself not spending rubies for anything else, but I can sacrifice that to get 2 points for each. The writing chamber is one that a lot of people like. I mean, the whole game, or part of the game, is about avoiding those negative points that you get. And so if you have the writing chamber, you don't have to worry about negative points for all the different empty spaces you have. Now, it does seem a lot of times when I see this game that the people who take it end up not needing it. But if you take it, then that's kind of a good strategy. So this could be worth 7 points, but it's likely worth 3 or 4. Still worth it. Then we have the guest room. Now, the guest room sounds cooler than it actually is. What it does is it changes the different action spaces where they say do this, either this or that. And it becomes and or for you, which means you can do both. There's not as many of these spaces as you might think. But still, this is an amazing room and it's so much fun to build. It's worth no points, but once you get it, if you know how to utilize it, being able to use cards for both things on them is fantastic. Now, I like dwellings in the game, and I almost put the couples spot here. But the fact that this one here has room for a dwarf and a pair of animals. Now, yes, it's a weird thing. I'm not wanting a pair of pigs in my bedroom. But this one, while expensive, lets you have the dwarf and some animals, and that can come in pretty handy. Then we have the weaving parlor. This immediately gives you 1 food for each sheep you have, and at the end of the game gives you 1 point for every 2 sheep you have. There's something about Caverna that allows you to go off on tangents. I already showed you one, when it was the building a bunch of rubies. Well, here, building a gigantic sheep farm, that's something that can be fun to do. And if you're going to do so, this is great. Wait till you have some sheep, although don't wait too long. Someone else might build this room before you. But you get some sheep, you get a bunch of food real quickly, and then at the end of the game, they're worth more points. Working cave. This allows you to feed exactly 1 of your dwarfs with a wood, a stone, or 2 ore. Very handy to have. I don't know why I like this one so much, because feeding your people is always a thing. I mean, first of all, it makes for funny jokes, like this guy's eating a rock tonight for dinner. But, I mean, I guess thematically you're trading the rock for food or whatever it is. Really handy, and it's worth 2 points. But I also like food, and that's why this one here, which is an expensive room, you got 3 wood and 2 stone, but it's 2 points, and it reduces feeding costs by 1 food for each of your donkeys in a mine. And you get 3 or 4 donkeys in a mine, and that's a huge thing. Again, that's another strategy that you can do in this game, is that go on donkeys in a mine route type thing. And this building really makes that worthwhile. My number 2 favorite building is the office room. This one, again, I don't know if it's as useful as it is just fun to do, but you can make your twin tiles overhang. And you can just, hang them off the board to some degree. And every time you do that, you get 2 points. Well, that's really fun to do. It's a really cheap building. This one is more fun for me than it is useful. But the building I use the most, maybe it's just me, is the food chamber. I keep talking about specific strategies in Caverna. One of the strategies is build that big farm. Have the farm, forget animals, just produce crops. And you can do that, right? You can get a lot of grain and vegetables and just start pumping them out. And if you do so, At the end of the game, having 2 points for every vegetable grain combo can really pull you ahead because you're already getting a point for that vegetable. So that, and a half a point for the grain. So that makes every pair of them worth 3.5 points. You get 5, 6 pairs. That gives you a really strong lead in the game. So this one is a fun one for me. And there you have it. Those are my favorite rooms in Caverna. What are your favorites? Let me know in the comments. Caverna, a fantastically fun game. Lots of options. As you can see, those rooms let you just do all sorts of things. And I don't know, these are the ones I like playing with the best. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching my top 10 favorite rooms in Caverna the Cave Farmers on the Dice Tower.